I am John Rowley, and at one of the darkest hours in my life, Zig Ziglar came into it. I had a near-death car accident. After about a year or so, when I started rehabbing a little bit, I was able to get a job as a janitor in a school in Brooklyn, working on a walker. And I was walking on that walker. I decided I'd go into the library and look for biographies, because I was trying to see what people who had overcome incredible failure or tragedies in their lives did to overcome it. But as I was going down one of the aisles, I saw a book entitled See at the Top. And I wanted to know what the top was. I wasn't happy with the bottom, so I wanted to see what it was, and it was Mr. Ziglar's book. So I started reading that book. I attached it to a music stand on my walker, and I read it every day as I swept classrooms. And then through that, I realized that whether I was at the bottom, in the middle, or wherever I was still able to achieve my goals if I set my goals, stated them in the first person, and made sure that I truly believed them. So what I did from that point on, I decided I wanted to get into Manhattan real estate. So what I did is I got a job in Manhattan real estate after I got turned down by 300 companies on Madison Avenue. I got turned down by the best of the best. But when I got into Manhattan real estate, I learned quickly that even though I was in, I still had a long way to go. So what I started doing is I started doing what Mr. Ziglar taught us in the books, was listen to your affirmations. I recorded them on a cassette recorder. Cassette recorder, for anybody who wants to know, used to be what the CDs are today, or MP3s are today. But I would listen to that, and Mr. Ziglar called it Automobile University. Well, I didn't have a car, so I called it Subway School. I got onto the 7 train every day, listened to my positive affirmations. Then I would listen to the How to Stay Motivated series. I had no problem at all getting motivated, but staying motivated with a wife and 3 kids, with a very small income at the time, wanting to take on Manhattan real estate with no college degree. Through all of this, I ended up becoming the youngest senior vice president of any major real estate company in New York City. I also ended up owning the gym with the movie Pumping Iron, which film starring Arnold Schwarzenegger and Lou Ferrigno. And through the process, I learned that a lot of times our tragedies actually define who we are, because we actually go in a different direction than we may have intended. But a lot of times those tragedies are just the little bumps in the road that God intends for us so we can reach our destiny. Now, through the process of all of this, I mentioned we have 3 kids. We have 4 now. My youngest is 17. But when my second son was about 15 or 16 years old, he was going through what we were calling at the time testosterone poisoning. He was getting in trouble every day at school. He'd come home from school, and he got grounded every day, 1 day at a time for a full year. A good kid, but he needed some redirection. So what we did at one point is we found out that grounding him wasn't working. So what we did is we gave him a punishment of listening to the How to Stay Motivated series 30 minutes before he went to bed each night. And the transformation was almost immediate. The second day, we saw a better Johnny. By the 3rd day, we saw a much better Johnny. And by the 7th day, he was quoting Zig better than Zig could do it. His life completely turned around. And when his punishment was over, he didn't stop. He still has the How to Stay Motivated series in his car. He's got 2 children of his own now. He's in the military, him and his wife. And he still listens to the How to Stay Motivated series and all the other things that Mr. Ziglar has. But a real turning point for my son, and a wake-up call for me, was to see the way Mr. Ziglar embraced my family. When he found out that this punishment was taking place for Johnny, I think I spoke to Laurie Majors at this point. Mr. Ziglar's message to me was, I'm glad it worked, but I sure do hate to be the boy's punishment. Well, through that, Mr. Ziglar then emailed Johnny some books. He sent him his books, all of his self-help books, but then a cassette tape that was life-changing for many of us, and it was his Christian testimony. Mr. Ziglar was a very busy man. He did not need to take the time to do that for a 15, 14-year-old kid, but he did. Mr. Ziglar not only writes these books, that he lives these books day in and day out. I'm living testimony to that, and so is my family. Now, he's got a new book coming out, and this new book is going to be incredible because it's going to teach us how to stay on purpose, how to set our goals, and to do the things that we need to do to achieve in life. It's the culmination of over 40 years of Mr. Ziglar teaching America what to do. Not only what to do, because a lot of self-help guys tell you what to do. He actually shows you how to do it. He has a goals planner that I've used for most of my life that helps me not only set my goals, but how to achieve my goals. He has steps in his books and in his CDs that allow you to not only fulfill your life's dream, but become the person that you're supposed to be on the road to success. I consider this a great honor to be here today, to be able to speak about one of my heroes, and I can't wait to see everybody get this book in their hands, because America is at a point right now where we need a lift. We need a kick in the butt. We need to get rolling and going. We don't need to count on anybody else. We need to do our part. And this book, I believe, is going to be life-changing, not only for you, but for the American culture as a whole if we embrace it. Thank you so much for your time. Zig Ziglar, thank you so much for the way you've served America, and I really appreciate this opportunity. God bless you all.
Hey, thank you so much, John. Dad's book is Born to Win, and the cool thing is that his first book, See at the Top, helped you realize you're born to win, and you've passed it on to your son, and now he's doing it with his kids.
Well, it's incredible. Well, I believe we're all born to win. I believe God has put a seed of greatness in each of us, and that it's our job to find out what our passion is and then fulfill it. And I can't thank you enough, Tom, for having me today. I really appreciate it.
Well, we appreciate you, John. This is awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you.